Hello, everybody.
Hey, are we back?
I think we're back. Let
All
me
right.
make
Hey,
sure.
guys, for anyone who just joined in, it looks like we had a bit of technical difficulties, but we should be back now. Smay, we are good.
We are good. Yeah, go
We
for
are
it.
good. Good deal, guys. All right. Well, I am going to give it a couple of minutes here to let everybody join on in. Sorry about that, guys. Had some technical difficulty, still figuring out all this working from home stuff. We are, after doing all of this, more than likely going to be building a set at my house so that I will have a place that I can stream from in the future. And we're learning a lot about how we can do this from home so that if anything like this ever does happen again, then we will know how to deal with it. Like I said, we're going to give it a couple of minutes to let everybody join on up here. For anyone who's watching the replay of this, what just happened is that myself and Smay, we were in the wrong Zoom, so we had to restart it. So apologies for that. We just went over how BlockFi is dealing with securities allegations coming out of Texas, New Jersey, and Alabama, and now they're looking for sorry, I'm looking at the screen, just throwing me off. And now they're also looking to go IPO. They just finished a $500 million Series E round of funding, and it looks like in the next couple of years they may be going IPO. Alexandro Anasio, who I saw you on around the blockchain by the way yesterday, Alexandri said expect a meme generation increase. That is true. Yes, we need some memes generated out of the reboot we just did. That would be a pretty great thing to meme. Let's see, guys. Let's go ahead and read a couple of comments in chat, and then we will jump into it. Jeff M said, "Is mid 20,000 still your closing prediction for this week, Jeb, for Bitcoin?" I don't think that's going to happen this week, but I do think that that is something that is going to happen. I think that we're probably going to be sitting down here around $30,000 for quite some time, personally, and I think that we are going to be breaking below $30,000, and that's something that we're going to be talking about a little bit later. Or actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and switch up the way that we're going to do this a little bit. Let's start with some Bitcoin technical analysis because I know you guys are very interested in what Bitcoin is doing and where it might be heading next. So let's go ahead and do that. Smay, I need to, if you can activate screen sharing so I can do that. Uh, I cannot hear you, Smay.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay,
There
thank
we
you.
go.
Boom. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and do some technical analysis here on Bitcoin. What I think is most important for you guys to take notice of is the fact that Bitcoin went into a rally just a couple of days ago. It is now hovering just below $32,500, which is a critical level of resistance. This is the major decision point on Bitcoin. And we're actually seeing the exact same thing happen on Ethereum at the current moment. There's a very important decision point that these markets are facing, and it looks like this. These markets, especially Bitcoin, has a downtrending level of resistance that is right above it. Notice how we have two of them here. These are both valid, but they're both two different ways of drawing the resistance. I've seen it drawn both ways. I've been drawing it as this upper resistance level right here. I've seen Tim draw it as this lower resistance level right here. Either way, they're both pretty similar, so I'm going to count them as more or less the same level. But it's important that you realize that different traders and different investors are going to see the chart in a different way than you might. So it's important that you understand how as many people as possible are seeing something so that you get the most accurate technical information. Because if you don't have a good reading of what other people are seeing, then it's going to be more difficult to predict what they're looking at and going to trade by. And then your technical analysis isn't going to be as valid because, of course, TA is based on your understanding of what other people are doing. With that said, there is a major zone of resistance sitting right here in between $32,000 and $33,000, constituted by this flat level at 32.5 and these two downtrends right here. The reason I say Bitcoin is in a decision point is because if it does not manage to break north here, we're almost certainly going to come back down and test this $30,000 region. And frankly, after testing it once, twice, three times, four times, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 times, depending on how exactly you count it, this market would be very hard pressed to hold above 30,000. And in fact, I don't think that it will be able to. I've told you guys for the last several weeks, I think that Bitcoin has more work to do below $30,000. And if we do reject below 33 right now, then that's more than likely where we're going to be heading next. So watch out for that. The next thing I want to point out is this resistance is extremely strong. And if Bitcoin doesn't break through it, we are probably going to go to the downside. I've already said that, but what I do want to point out here is that if we do manage to break out here, there is actually potential for quite a bit of upside. Let me show you because the next level of resistance is sitting up here at roughly $34,500 and change. This resistance level is constituted by our recent high over here on the 12th of July, all of the middle points of this trading right here on the 7th of July, the 4th of July, the 28th of June. We also have some highs back over here on the 24th of June, and tons of support and resistance touches going back as far as the 19th of May. That is our next major level of resistance if Bitcoin breaks north above this $33,000 level. If we do manage to go up there, that would actually be a very good sign, and I'll show you why, because we need to start setting higher highs. It is desperately important for us. If we want to go into a new uptrend, we need to start setting new highs. And I want to make myself very clear. It is possible that we do this. It is possible that Bitcoin manages to break above $34,500 and start rallying towards 35, 36. It is very much possible. The question is not what is possible. The question is what is plausible. And I personally think it's far more plausible and likely that Bitcoin rejects here. But I do want you guys to keep in mind that there is that potential. With that said, looking out here to the daily chart, let's make sure we're taking everything into account. We do have a bullish MACD cross coming in on Bitcoin. And Tim, you might see something that I don't, but I don't personally see any kind of RSI divergence on the chart. Could be totally blind, but I don't see any that is of note. One thing I want to point out also is that the volume is still very low. We've seen Bitcoin have quite large volume spikes whenever we pulled back down to this $30,000 region before. Not so much here, and that is concerning. You want to see more volume, which indicates more fighting. If there was a lot more volume like there was over here in these long lower wicks, that indicates that there's a ton of fighting. Think about it like this. The volume almost represents the casualties in a battle. Not that we ever want to have any casualties at all, but in this analogy, you kind of do, because it means that there's a bigger fight going on, right? You want to see as big of a fight going on as possible, because it means that the bulls are strong because they're able to put up such a strong fight. Right now, there's just not much fighting going on, which indicates to me that we should be paying attention and following the predominant trend, which is negative. It is bearish. And whenever you see very low volume, generally you're going to want to go with the predominant trend. And in this case, that predominant trend is negative. Another thing to point out here is that on the daily chart, the last 3 days have had very large upper wicks. These large upper wicks are not necessarily very bullish for Bitcoin, because it means that the market attempted to rally and the bears said, no, actually, you're not going to do that. Of course, there is a counter argument to that, and that would be this bullish engulfing candlestick right here, but I digress. One thing I also want to point out is Lux Algo down here on the 4-hourly chart. It is still bullish, I do believe, but we do need to pay attention to how long it is going to be like this. Be watching out for any color changes up here on Lux Algo, because Lux Algo can shift color, as you can see in this instance right here, and these instances right over here. And if it does that, then you're definitely going to want to start betting even more on the bearish option here. Make no mistake, I'm not saying that Bitcoin cannot rally here. I am, however, saying that it is the least likely of the two scenarios. I would be surprised to see it starting to break that $33,000 region. Tim, I'd love to hear what you think about that. Where do you think Bitcoin's heading next?
Well, there is. So you asked, there is a slight bit of RSI divergence on the 4-hourly chart. It's not necessarily the strongest bearish RSI divergence we've seen recently, but it is definitely there. Technically speaking, if you want me to share my screen, I can. So yeah, let me go right here, share the screen. So again, is it the strongest we've seen recently? Not necessarily. However, obviously you guys can see right here RSI divergence. It's kind of a flathead, but it's technically slightly ascending right there. But clearly we have descending right here. I don't even have to draw it. You guys can see the yellow line pretty much representing that. That is RSI divergence. Again, is it the strongest we've seen recently? Probably not, but it is RSI divergence. The other thing is, we talked about this yesterday, it's doing almost exactly what I said I thought it would do. Obviously, I did not know about the Twitter news, about the Amazon news, but this intersection right here, where we have this flat level of resistance versus a descending level of resistance, my prediction and what we talked about on the show yesterday was most likely we're going to be trading sideways alongside this resistance before we kind of hit this corner, and that's the decision point right there. That again, with this news, I mean, potentially, yes, we could break bullish up here, but I think I need to see it before I can say that that's what I believe it's going to do. I'm still in the boat that I think we need to come down a little bit, as for the reasons we talked about yesterday on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, good points, guys. So, with all that said, let's go ahead and read a couple of super chats here, and then we are going to move on into our main topics for today. Like I said, we have some news coming out of Amazon and Twitter that we want to cover, but we had a couple of super chats, starting with Tom Wilkes, donated $25, said, "Now you can make your Zoom payment, lol." Oh, man. Yeah, we do have a paid Zoom account. We're just,
yeah.
it happens. It happens.
It's miscommunicado.
Miscommunicado. Kenneth Gardner donated $5, said, drink coffee, said, been taking CT2A and a couple of videos, RSI videos say there's supposed to be charts and links attached, but nothing there. Hit that like, people. Let's go. Thank you for that, Kenneth Gardner. Yeah, that's something that we actually will go ahead and fix. I didn't realize that. My apologies, my friend. If we can go ahead and take a note of that, we will get on that. I will take that right now.
I got you.
I already did it. It's all
Sweet.
good.
Sweet.
It's all good. Good deal. Thank you very much for that, my friend. I appreciate that. We will take care of that today. Guys, we need to go ahead and jump on into this Amazon news. This is potentially minor, but very, very exciting. So let's go ahead and read on. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we'll scroll up to the top here. Amazon is looking to hire a digital currency lead. The successful candidate will have expertise in cryptocurrency and central bank digital currencies, according to the job posting, which is right here. We'll get to that in a second. Amazon is looking for a digital currency and blockchain product lead as the internet giant progresses with plans to bring its payment systems into the crypto age. The position, based in Washington, Seattle, Washington, will work with Amazon's payments, acceptance, and experience team. The company is seeking an experienced product leader to develop Amazon's digital currency and blockchain strategy and product roadmap. That reads crystal clear to me. It looks like they're moving in the direction of either creating their own cryptocurrency or adopting cryptocurrency. Either way, it is a big, big deal. You will leverage your domain expertise in blockchain, distributed ledger, central bank digital currencies, and cryptocurrency to develop the case for the capabilities which should be developed, drive overall vision and product strategy, and gain leadership buy-in and investment for new capabilities, the posting says. There's been chatter about so-called Amazon coin, with job postings going back to February, hinting at digital currencies was in the offing. So, guys, I'm going to look over here at the description for this job posting. I'm not going to go through all this. If you'd like to pause and look into this, you can. And the link is also in this article over on CoinDesk. If you click right here, it opens it up for you, but I'll go ahead and read a little bit of it. Starts with this: do you want to innovate on behalf of customers within the payments and financial systems of one of the largest e-commerce companies in the world? As one of the largest e-commerce companies in the world, they like to talk about that, I guess. Amazon possesses billions of secure online transactions via numerous payment methods and capabilities around the globe. The Amazon payment and acceptance and experience team is responsible for how Amazon customers pay on Amazon sites and through Amazon services around the globe. The payments, acceptance, and experience team is seeking an experienced product leader to develop Amazon's digital currency and blockchain strategy and product roadmap. You will leverage your domain expertise, yada, yada, yada. The rest of that doesn't really matter. But the point is, they are looking to build out a digital currency and blockchain strategy and product roadmap. That is one of the, I feel like I've said this a lot, but this is one of the biggest news stories that we've read in quite some time. And I'm not exaggerating on that, because I've told people for the last, 4 years that I've been in cryptocurrency that one of, if not the biggest adoption story we will ever see will be Amazon buying into Bitcoin and starting to utilize Bitcoin. You might not realize this. Amazon owns a $3 trillion distribution network. Amazon has the largest distribution network on the planet, larger than FedEx, larger than everything, all other freight carriers. They are the largest freight carrier on planet Earth. They're one of the most valuable companies on the planet. And at one point they might still be. This is a big deal. And it's not something that we can overlook. And someone just pointed out AWS, Amazon Web Service. They also own like half the internet. So them moving in the direction of blockchain and cryptocurrency is a massive step forward. Guys, if you're enjoying today's stream, make sure to smash that like button. We've got some really awesome news coming out. We're going to do some more technical analysis a little bit later. I hope you guys are enjoying. Tim, do you have any ideas about what this might do to Bitcoin and where you think they might be heading?
So here's my thought. First of all, I'm watching chat. People are talking about how this is kind of weeks old. Yes, I know there was some news about this a couple weeks ago. I think this is even more confirmation. I think this is even another headline, like Amazon's doing it again. Make sure this is up to my mouth. I know people have complained also. The volume seems to be a little low. We'll make sure that's fixed on Monday. But my thought is right now, this story doesn't necessarily specifically talk about the benefit to Bitcoin in and of itself, more to crypto in general, but I think right now what we are seeing in the adoption, especially of whales and institutions with both Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think that this speaks to that. I think this is a continuation of that story. We're waiting here for, I think, August the 2nd when EIP 1559 comes out for Ethereum. There's a lot of people expecting a mass amount of adoption happening when that comes to play. But my guess is, like I said, some people are saying, are you guys being paid to shill? I wish we were being paid to shill this story and make his, unless somebody in the office, which there should be no one in the office that knows that we're getting paid without me knowing it. We're not being shilled. This is simply trying to update you guys on what is happening with institutions getting involved with crypto.
Yep.
And this story, I think, is the one that is interesting because we really, Jeff Bezos has been a little bit more quiet than other CEOs when it comes to crypto. So this is really big. I guess he's not the CEO of there anymore, but obviously nothing happens at Amazon without him knowing about it. The bigger story is one we're about to talk about, and that is with what is happening with Twitter. Not that we can be that surprised by it, because obviously Jack Dorsey is the new, I mean, whether we like it or not, whether we want it or not, he's kind of the new face of Bitcoin CEOs. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Yep. With that said, let's go ahead and move on to that Twitter article, because this is another big story, guys. We're getting two of these in the same day. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Twitter set to integrate Bitcoin as a global native currency. During an earnings call yesterday, CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, brought up the importance of decentralized social media and stated that Bitcoin will be the internet's global native currency, and it will bring a big part of Twitter's future. The earnings call marked the first occasion that the Twitter CEO had publicly discussed any potential integration of Bitcoin onto the platform, stating the potential integration of Bitcoin into existing Twitter products and new products such as super follows and tip jars. If the internet has a native currency, a global currency, we are able to move so much faster with products such as super follows, commerce subscriptions, tip jars, and we can reach every single person on the planet because of that, instead of going down a market by market by market approach. One of the reasons Dorsey cited for integrating Bitcoin into Twitter is the economic or general commerce aspect, which would allow Twitter to rely on other types of business models rather than relying solely on advertising. That would change the face of Twitter as we know it if they're not reliant completely on advertising, because that's how these platforms make their money. And by the way, that's the reason why there's so much security concern around social media platforms, because they make their money through advertising. That's where a lot of this comes from. So people might not realize, but if they start moving in a direction that allows them to monetize in a different way than advertising, all of a sudden that completely changes the game for what Twitter even looks like. So not only would you be helping to adopt Bitcoin, you'd probably be making a seismic shift in the way that Twitter does their business. And that's something that I know a lot of people would like. So guys, that's a really big deal. And also another thing is it would potentially allow for new ways of content creators over on Twitter to monetize their work. For example, here on YouTube, you have super chats and you have follows and super stickers, and you have memberships. So there's a lot of different ways to monetize your following on YouTube. So the content creators like ourselves are able to, keep the lights on. That doesn't really exist on Twitter, at least to my knowledge. So them adding things like super tips and everything that they're talking about here, and tip jars, that'd be a big deal, not only for the platform, not only for Bitcoin, but also for the content creator. It's really a win-win-win scenario, and it's something that I am very much looking forward to. Obviously, this is not confirmed. This is just him saying this is one way that this could occur. But knowing the history of Twitter, they do like to adopt new technologies. This is something that I think will most likely end up happening probably in the next year or so. Smay or Tim, do either of you have any thoughts on what this might mean for the future of Bitcoin on the internet?
Smay, you got thoughts?
Not really.
I think, if I wanted to let Smay get a chance before I went. I think let's wait and see the magnitude to which this happens. But obviously, Twitter is a massive a massive company to adopt it that, to that level. I think it's a wait and see at this point. I think we've made the mistake, and I've said this before, but we've made the mistake of jumping on stories like this and acting like because of this story alone we're going to be jumping up to new all-time highs. And I don't necessarily know if we have enough there to say that's happening. I think this more speaks to the longevity of the price rise of Bitcoin. I don't know if it speaks to an immediate price rise.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what all of these fundamental stories mean. They're speaking to the long-term appreciation of the Bitcoin price because there is more adoption going on. I think it's important for us to remember that long-term price appreciation is not built on one-off news stories or some people just randomly deciding, oh, I'm going to buy Bitcoin now. Like, for example, one of the articles that we had here that we decided not to really talk about is that Busta Rhymes decided that he was going to buy Bitcoin. And the reason that we didn't cover that is because, people buy Bitcoin all the time. So what that he's famous and he's buying Bitcoin? That's not what we want to build our long-term price on. We want to build our long-term price on the adoption of the people. And the people use Amazon and the people use Twitter. Like them or hate them, they are major platforms with hundreds of millions of users each. And it is a major step forward for the adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency if they do move in that direction. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and do some Ethereum technical analysis. I know you guys are wanting it, and then we're going to move on to meme review. You guys have some interesting memes, and we're looking forward to it. It's getting a little better. It's getting a little better. If you haven't already followed us on Reddit, make sure to go ahead and join the subreddit. It's r/Jedi Knights, JEBBI. KNIGHTS. I think I spelled that right. Either way, let's go ahead and jump on to the the Ethereum chart here. So Ethereum is in a very similar position to what Bitcoin is in. That is that it is in a small rally. It's right below some critical resistance junctures, and it has had relatively low volume on its bounce. Now, Ethereum's support touch thing that is doing right now is not quite as severe as Bitcoin. We saw Bitcoin come down and test its major level of support 8 or 9 times. Ethereum's only really done it 3. It happened over here on the 23rd of May, happened here once on the 22nd of June, and then again on the 26th of June. So technically, those are 2 different tests. And then we saw it happen again here on the 20th of July. So it hasn't tested this level 9, 10 times like Bitcoin has, but it has tested it enough. And we are in a descending triangle pattern here. These normally break bearish. However, we are currently in a rally, and we're about to test this resistance here around $2,150. This downtrending level of resistance is a critical juncture for Ethereum. As we were talking about earlier on Bitcoin, this is a very important decision point for the Ethereum price, because if we don't manage to break through here, we're almost certainly pulling back at least down here to 1850 at medium, I guess you could say, down to 1730, which is its bottom level of support. And at absolute worst, we'd be breaking below 1730. And frankly, guys, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I think that is what is more probable. I think that it makes sense for Ethereum to reject here and break to the downside. Yes, I'm seeing all of these fundamental developments that we've talked about. We're talking about Amazon. We're talking about Twitter. We're talking about all kinds of things going on in cryptocurrency right now that are very, very bullish. The sentiment isn't there. And that's the problem. When the sentiment starts to shift, my perception of the market will start to shift. But guys, you cannot underestimate and discount the importance of market sentiment. The market sentiment right now is very neutral and very bearish. And neutrality in the market sentiment is one of the worst things for the price action if you are a bull, because when there's neutrality in the sentiment, it means that boredom is going to come because there's nothing happening. Right now, not many people are interested or excited in cryptocurrency. And unfortunately, this is a small enough market that popular culture is one of the major drivers of Bitcoin's price and Ethereum's price, because these are still both very speculative products compared to what you might see in the stock market that have much more, I didn't think I would ever say this, but more grounded price and what they're actually worth, if you will. Now, of course, I think the stock market is in one gigantic bubble. I'm not saying that they're worth those values, but they do tend to be at least a lot more stable and not as influenced by popular culture like Bitcoin and Ethereum are. Bitcoin and Ethereum are both in a decision point, and I think they're both going to decide to go to the downside. If we look at Lux Algo, we will see that we have a strong buy signal right now on this market. And down on the hourly chart, I believe we're seeing the exact same thing. I'd be surprised if we weren't, but you want to be very careful about this, because This buy signal was a while ago. Notice this buy signal showed up at a fantastic time. Lux Algo is a fantastic indicator pack. If you guys aren't already using Lux Algo, you definitely should. You can sign up with the link in the description box down below for to get Lux Algo. You can get 20% off using the coupon code JEB, JEBB, at checkout. Look at these amazing signals. Look at this sell signal right here, this buy signal right here. That's just it's juicy. That's a great signal right there, guys. And if you had paid attention to it, you would have made a lot of money. Nevertheless, I think we might be coming to the end of the effectiveness of this signal. And I think that that is going to be playing out as a correction here on the market. Now, we do have a bullish MACD cross coming in on Ethereum. The RSI does look somewhat healthy. The problem is that sentiment, and I can't get over that. One other thing I want to point out is that we did have a bullish 9 flash on TD sequential that has now reset itself. We've now seen that the TD sequential has played out, so we've rallied. We have broken above the 20 daily EMA, so we are in a position where if ever we were going to have a strong rally, now would be the time. I still just don't think it's very likely. Tim, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on Ethereum. Where do you think Ethereum is heading next, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to go into my chart. I think just as you drew right there, looking at descending level of resistance, I think we're going to bump our head on that. That's just what's happening. The thing is, just give it a week and a half. I think I'm in the camp of the believers of when EIP 1559 finally drops. While there's been a lot of up and down speculation about what exactly happens there, it will bring some predictability to gas fees. It will bring burning and deflation, whether it's the level we're going to get when we see ETH 2.0 finally launch sometime next year, maybe not, but it will be enough to stabilize and to increase the amount of usage of Ethereum. So I'm in the camp of, hey guys, I think it's going to bump its head on that level of descending resistance, come back down. If you're looking at it, there's also bearish divergence on the 4-hourly chart on Ethereum, RSI divergence. All the indicators and all the logic kind of points towards Ethereum's running out of steam on this short rally. It's going to come back down, but again, give it a week and a half. Wait for the London hard fork to finish, or the EIP 1559 to drop, and that's when I potentially think, hey, let's go ahead and get on now. Let's see what happens with Ethereum, because they're just like a Bitcoin. We see news day after day of Bitcoin adoption. And I think right now we're seeing probably a little bit stronger Bitcoin adoption than Ethereum, but the Ethereum adoption is still there too. There's still a lot of people predicting Ethereum will flip Bitcoin. Well, I don't agree with that statement. I think there's an argument there to be made that the reason they think it's going to flip is because they do see something big coming for Ethereum.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And I think that Ethereum EIP 1559 is going to be a big deal for Ethereum. And we're definitely going to be watching the price as that comes to pass. Guys, if you're enjoying today's stream, make sure to smash that like button. We are really enjoying spending time with you guys. And we're actually about to move into some meme review. But before we do that, someone thought Jeb had the disease that you can't say on YouTube without getting demonetized. I do. That's why I'm sitting in my room and not in the studio. And my cough is starting to come on, so hopefully it won't do that before we wrap it out. But before we move on to meme review, Smay has an interesting fact about turtles that he wants to share with you. So Smay.
Yes, I was actually looking up the information to
well, Smay, while you do that, we have a $5 donation from David Fear that says for Smay.
Just for Smay.
While
Smay's doing that stuff up, I know that we had, just in case you guys are new and you were watching from the beginning, you're kind of confused by our stream. This morning we had a Zoom malfunction. We started the show at 9:30 as normal, and then we had to pause it and start a new one. So make sure if you liked the first one, hit the like on this one as well. Let's get the like buttons up. Let's see if by the end of the stream we can get to 600. Jeb, do you think?
I think we do 600. I think we can do 600.
We got 1,300 people. We got 1,300 people watching right now, so we definitely can get up over 600. Smash the like, hit the subscribe.
Absolutely. So. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the subreddit unless you are ready, Smay.
Yeah, I can go ahead. All right, guys. So, fun fact. There are actually several different families of turtles, right? So, not all turtles are just one family. There's actually several different offshoots of what can be considered a turtle, and it's not actually just under the test. I'm not going to even try to attempt the Latin name, but under that genus. It's not just turtles and tortoises, guys. It's turtles, tortoises, and terrapins. And I said last stream I was going to tell you guys what a terrapin was. And so, as far as I know, and I could be a little bit,
It's
it could be
testudines, isn't it?
a little bit more than that, but uh, basically, a terrapin is a turtle. It's an aquatic, semi-aquatic turtle that lives in brackish inlets, kind of like in that lay their eggs in salt water, and then they live in the freshwater rivers, in the brackish rivers. So there's very few terrapin species out there, but there are diamondback terrapins, and diamondback terrapins are
They
very
bite.
gorgeous turtles. You guys should look them up. They're some of the coolest looking turtles out there, but they're actually they're endemic to the entire eastern side of the United States. So if you ever go to an inlet or some sort of brackish river area, you'll probably find some diamondback terrapins, and they're some of the most gorgeous turtles you'll ever see. They're literally white with black little speckles, and they have they look really cool. But that
They're
is my
not that
fact
good
for
at
today.
they're not that good at football though.
Hmm.
At least in Maryland, they're not
Oof.
that
Oh
good.
my
Oof.
gosh.
Maybe that's actually why
So
they named the team that, because
Is
of
it is
diamondback
it
terrapin.
pronounced Smay, is it pronounced testudines?
It could be.
I think that's what it's pronounced. And it's from the same Latin root that the word
Actually, sorry,
testudo comes
sorry.
from, the Roman
I
formation.
take it back. I take that back, guys. There's actually, from what it looks like here, uh, you guys don't want to hear about this. You guys don't want to hear about it.
what they
We can
do what
dive.
they
We can
do want to
dive
know,
deeper
Smay,
into it.
they
We
want
could dive deeper
technical
into it.
they want technical analysis. Is the the livelihood of turtles bullish or bearish right now?
That's a good point. It's a good question.
Mm,
Should
mm.
people
Good
should
question.
people be
Turtles,
investing in
guys,
turtles right
guys,
now?
guys. Right now, the outlook for turtles is pretty bearish. So
Oof.
you guys, you have to do your part.
We gotta get some support
You
in
have to
there.
do your part. So,
Yeah.
and here's the ways you can do. And it's not about not using plastic straws, because that's ridiculous. Use as much plastic straws as you want. Just don't throw them away in the ocean. But what I will say is, here's how you do your part. Take your family to the zoo. Take your
Let's
family
go.
to the zoo. That
I'm gonna go
supports
to the zoo.
conservation. Buy one of those little conservation bracelets. Make a donation. Anything you can do to just casually support. And you know what? Say you're driving down the street, you see a turtle crossing the road. Here's another fact. What do you do when you see a turtle crossing the road? Yeah,
You run it over.
no, you don't run it over. So guys, this is what
Put
happens,
a
right?
hat on it.
You never take the turtle and put it to the closest side of the road. You always have to take it where it's facing, because turtles are very stubborn, right? He's making the decision to go somewhere else, because turtles. They're creatures of habit, right? So they're gonna live in their place their entire lives, and if they're going somewhere else, it means they're doing it with a lot of intentionality, whether that be laying eggs or so on. So if you see a turtle crossing the road, you always take it to its destination where it's
Makes sense.
facing,
Makes sense.
because it's if you set it on the other side of the road, it's just gonna walk right back, right?
Makes sense.
So
Cool.
that is what you do. But also, that's another way that you can just help
Yeah.
turtle conservation. Also, if you are related to any developers and they're about to develop land, make sure they get it surveyed for gopher tortoises. There you go.
There you go, guys. If you enjoyed that fact about turtles, make
That-
sure to
that's
smash that
true.
like button.
The-
Guys,
my last question though for
Go for it.
Smay, how many turtles are killed by bulls though? So do we want to be bullish on
bulls.
turtles? Yeah.
No, not many turtles I'm sure are killed by bulls. I don't think there's many.
You don't think bulls step on them from time to time because they're digging all those holes out in the pastures?
better question
don't
is
know.
how many bulls are killed by turtles? They step
Okay.
in there and break a leg.
That's a good
let
question.
me-
They
me-
step in there and break a leg.
Hold on, time out. I have something to say. Because this is a great thing that he just said. Memory Man says zoos are just animal prisons. All right, guys. Let me dispel this myth. The zoos in the United States, a lot of the big zoos, are actually now a part of, as of the last good amount of years, are now part of an organization called the AZA, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. They have very specific standards, and they've basically converted zoos from just money making things they were back in the early 1900s and mid 1900s to now it's a tool for conservation. So, guys, if you ever go to a zoo, what they're actually doing at zoos is not just displaying animals in cages for money. they're actually swapping those animals around for breeding programs for something called insurance colonies, right? Insurance colonies means if the climate in their home range is not good enough to release the animal, political climate or so on, that there's deforestation or whatever, we need to make sure the species is alive, and if we just kept shipping them out there, they would die out again. They would just keep going extinct. So insurance colonies is what zoos are. They keep the animal alive in these breeding colonies across the United States. So then once it's ready, it's safe to put them back in their home range, they can now release them back in their home range. So
Oh yeah, crypto vet is a veterinarian. That's a good point.
yeah,
All right,
guys,
we will
make sure
let's go ahead and move
support
on
your
from
zoos.
turtles.
Go ahead and
Let's-
move on.
Let's
to
move on.
some-
we will keep the turtle. We'll start timing the turtle things. I think there's enough people that care about turtles, and some people do not care about turtles. But
Yeah,
at the end of the day, save the turtles. That's all.
So
I'm saying.
we're here
let's move
on
forward.
the subreddit. I am going to be quiet and I'm going to let Smay present. That's what I'm going to do. And if I laugh, I laugh. I'm not going to make myself laugh. I'm only going to laugh if I'm actually going to laugh. If I don't laugh, you guys got to work harder. Smay, what should I sort by?
Sort by new.
Sort by new. All right.
There we go.
Smay, can you present?
Yo, you want me to present?
Yes. I have.
Oh.
I'm sharing the stream. I want you to present.
Okay. So here we have our first meme. It's from Smaringen Artist. He says, Crypto Jeb launches. Crypto Jeb hits 130K subscribers. Crypto Jeb gets new studio. The Smay Show launches. What? That's crazy.
Maybe.
Eh.
Okay.
It's not that funny though. Sorry.
Moving on.
Bitcoin is the future. It will go to 1 million. It's dropped 54% and is driving the whole crypto market down 70% on most altcoins. He's adopted. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going.
Are we gonna read all of them this slow? Because I think there's a
don't-
lot of them.
I don't know.
Well, you asked me to present. I don't know what presenting means. Like,
I want you to present.
okay.
Do it.
Here's just me watching Turtle Facts. I'm glad
my
you
gosh.
enjoyed them. Next,
This is
Pretty
that's
accurate.
me watching my take profit orders about to go through on my short positions. Next.
Okay.
Next. When Smay returns to the studio. All right, next.
Okay.
Next. When Jeff says something bearish. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Next. That's not
Oh,
funny.
Chandler.
When
I like this one.
When Smay talks about crypto, show me the freaking turtles.
Okay, that's
like-
funny.
I like
That's
that
funny.
one.
All right,
I
this
like
one's
that
in the
one.
running. This one's in the running,
That's
guys.
funny.
All right,
Oh,
next
this
one.
guy-
This is
this one
4
was
memes.
good.
So hold on, let me read this one. How I'm going to react if I win the meme of the week? Okay,
Great,
next.
great meme. Great
Next.
meme.
That's all right. When you don't get the most points around the blockchain.
That's
Okay, that's good.
this
That's
is good.
Ooh,
That's
Yeah.
good. That's
next.
fair.
Next. You're right. I like that one actually.
Oh, that's actually good.
I like that one.
I mean, that's a realistic
That's a real
depiction of
meme.
what happens.
Yeah.
That's actually true.
Crypto fans, CTA, and crypto news, turtle facts. All right, next. I
That's not
appreciate. I
bad.
know you guys like them. Thank you.
It's not bad.
I hate this one. Keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah,
scrolling.
that's no.
Oh
Yes,
my gosh.
this is my favorite.
Oh my gosh.
This is not funny. It's just cool.
It's just like
cool.
It's just
They
great.
look like they're. It looks like
great
they're
art.
fighting with French fries. They're like going.
great
Oh,
art.
that one's green.
I'm
Jeb's
colorblind.
colorblind. Yeah, Jeb's
They
colorblind.
look like French fries.
That's right. That's
one
right.
one is yellow and one is green.
Wait,
so.
French fries.
I
aren't
just
green?
don't like. I don't like turtles be lit. I don't like that. If
Yeah,
it would
that's
have been
true.
like turtles,
Ugh.
turtles are cool or change my mind or something, I would have liked. But no.
That's true.
All right, next. When you own Bitcoin and haven't told it, next. This is horrible.
Yeah.
Next. When Bitcoin dips,
I'm
next.
not, we're not
yeah,
doing it next.
For the love of all things, skip. Next. Nope. Next.
No, that's- yeah.
Next.
This is rough, guys.
Next.
This is pretty rough.
Next.
I think we're
How many
running.
indicators-
I
how-
think the good
I think
ones
we're
are-
running out.
How many
Yeah, I think the
indicators
good
do you
ones are
use
done.
on your charts? Next. Lame.
Yeah, I think we're. I think we're.
Lame.
I think we're.
I think
running
we're
out.
out.
of the good ones.
I think we're
And
out.
look,
This
guys,
one
hold on.
was weird.
Let me say this to somebody. Don't watermark your memes. Don't take ownership for some of these memes. These are bad. Some of these
Yeah,
are really
they're
bad.
pretty bad.
Like I
There's some
want
good
to.
ones, though.
No,
There
there
are
are a
some
couple
good ones.
good
there were some
There
good
a
ones,
couple
and
good
I can
ones.
already tell you who I think is gonna win. But I'm gonna tell you this, guys. Look, I'm gonna tell you that. Don't put a watermark on the meme because it's not funny. I'm sorry. I see you
Yeah.
guys putting water like you're like proud of it. Don't be proud of what you did.
Yeah. Don't be
Alright.
proud of what you did.
All right. So you guys ready to select the winners?
Yeah, are we ready to select the winner? I'm
The
gonna go
winner.
back.
I'm
What's
ready.
the prize again? What was the prize for whoever won?
There's a prize. I don't know.
Isn't it the pillow?
I don't know. I don't want to give away the pillow. I like the pillow.
Okay. Well, we'll have something.
Okay. Well, I think it comes down to. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that it comes down to either this one or this one and this one.
I think
Bro,
that
that
one's
one's
my
pretty good.
favorite.
This one.
That one got the
for-
biggest reaction.
This
That
one
was
was
a good
pretty
one.
funny.
Yeah,
This
that's a
one
good
is pretty good, but I think this is the winner. I
Yeah,
think posted
So
by
Far
Far
Impression.
Impressions 8518. 8518 used to be the address of one of my old houses. Just
Oop,
doxed
there we
myself
go.
from 10 years ago.
Boom.
There we go. So, Far Impressions 8518. You have won. What have you won? I don't know, but you won. So good for you, my
There we
friend.
go.
You actually made me laugh. I had to stipulate because I caught myself fake laughing for the sake of the viewers last Friday when we did this. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to genuinely be impressed. And I was genuinely impressed. That one was funny. So
All right. So let's go ahead and wrap it out then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guys, if you enjoyed today's stream, make sure to smash that like button. I know it has been an absolute train wreck and a hot trash fire, but that's okay. We are going to be back in studio next week. And in fact, we have an entirely new studio coming in a couple of months. We just signed the lease papers about a week ago on a new office, double the size. We're going to be building all new sets. We've got branding coming out in the next month or so. We've got all kinds of overlays coming to these streams, a lot of new stuff coming out. And I'm really, really stoked for it. So we very much appreciate everybody staying tuned and staying loyal during this time while we're down, while I have the disease I can't say on camera because we will get demonetized. The demonetization flu, I guess we'll start calling it. Nevertheless, guys, like I said, if you enjoyed today's stream, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure to follow us on Reddit and join the Reddit r/Jedi Knights, JEBBIKNIGHTS, and post your memes over there for the Friday meme review. And also, if you haven't already, make sure to sign up for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. The link for that is in the description box down below. I've had a ton of people sign up lately, and they're getting a ton of value out of it. Before I go, though, guys, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.